The weight of your potential is a ghost that will haunt you until the day you die. And most of you are perfectly content living in a haunted house. You're walking through a dream where you're the lead actor in a tragedy you didn't even bother to write. You wake up, you check the glowing rectangle in your palm to see who else is winning, and you trade your most precious asset, your focus, for a hit of cheap dopamine that leaves you more hollow than when you started. Most people never become successful because they are addicted to the comfort of their own misery. It's warm in the hole. It's safe in the dirt. Down there, nobody asks anything of you. Down there, you can blame the economy or your parents or the fact that you weren't born with a silver spoon, and the other people in the hole will nod and tell you you're right. But the truth is a cold blade that doesn't care about your feelings. The truth is that you are failing because you have negotiated with your soul until there's nothing left to trade. You've sold your greatness for the security of a paycheck and the illusion of a stable life. And now you're wondering why you feel like a stranger in your own skin. You are a protagonist who has forgotten the plot. You are standing at the base of a mountain that demands everything, and you're trying to check if your shoes are tied tight enough. Success is not a destination. It's a high-stakes eviction. You have to evict the person you've become to make room for the person you've become, to make room for the person you were meant to be. And that eviction is violent. It's loud. It's messy. It's the sound of your old friendship shattering because you no longer speak the language of good enough. It's the feeling of your muscles tearing because you've pushed past the point of I'm tired. Most people never become successful because they think the pain of change is a sign to stop, when it's actually the only sign that you've finally started. You've been living in a curated prison of your own design, and you've decorated the walls so nicely that you've forgotten the doors are locked from the inside. You spend your energy trying to make the prison more comfortable instead of trying to break the glass. Think about the thousands of hours you've spent preparing for a life you're too afraid to lead. You read the books, you watch the videos, you highlight the quotes, and then you go back to the same habits, the same breakfast, and the same small talk. You are a library of unused information. You are a Ferrari that never leaves the garage because you're worried about the rain. But the rain is coming whether you drive or not. The rust is settling in. Your engine is seizing up. The tragedy of the almost is the most painful story ever told. I almost started that business. I almost told her I loved her. I almost gave it my all. Almost is the word losers use to decorate their graves. Success doesn't recognize almost. The mountain doesn't give you credit for getting halfway up and turning back because it got cold. The mountain only knows the summit. And the summit is reserved for the people who are willing to be misunderstood, mocked, and lonely. You are terrified of being lonely, aren't you? You're terrified that if you really commit, if you go dark for 6 months and work until your hands bleed and your brain aches, your friends will stop calling. Let them. If they are the same people who are comfortable with your mediocrity, they aren't your friends. They are your anchors. They are the weights that keep you in the valley. You have to be willing to walk into the fire alone. You have to be willing to look into the mirror and see a stranger, someone with eyes that reflect the hunger the world can't satisfy. Most people are full. They're full of distractions, full of excuses, and full of other people's opinions. There is no room for greatness in a crowded mind. You have to empty yourself. You have to become a vacuum for your own ambition. You have to realize that every time you say yes to something that doesn't move you toward the summit, you are saying no to your future self. You are betraying the man you could be for the convenience of the man you are. The psychology of success isn't about talent, it's about the tolerance for boredom. Most people fail because they can't handle the mundane. They want the highlight reel, the trophy ceremony, and the champagne. They don't want the 4,000 hours of silence where nothing seems to be happening. They don't want the rejection emails. They don't want the empty bank account. They don't want the feeling of being a fool in the eyes of the world. But the fool is the precursor to the master. You have to be willing to be a bad beginner before you can be a legendary finisher. You have to be willing to look stupid. You have to be willing to fail in public so you can win in private. The world is a giant filter designed to weed out the weak-willed. It throws obstacles at you not to stop you, but to see if you'll stop yourself. Most people hit the first wall and say, see, it wasn't meant to be. No, it was meant to be exactly that hard. It was meant to break you so that you could forge yourself into something stronger. You are currently made of glass. You break when things get difficult. You crack when people judge you. You shatter when the plan doesn't work. You need to become. Steel. And steel is only made in the heat. It's made in the crushing pressure of the forge. If you are avoiding the pressure, you are avoiding your own evolution. Look at the people you admire. Do you think they got there by accident? Do you think they found success? No one finds success. You hunt it down, you corner it, and you take it. It's a predatory act. It requires a level of aggression that society has tried to socialize out of you. They told you to be nice, to wait your turn, to follow the rules. But the rules were written by the people who want you to stay in the valley so they don't have to look at your light and feel bad about their own darkness. Break the rules. Not the laws, but the social contracts that bind you to a life of quiet desperation. The pain of staying the same as a slow rot. It's the smell of a stagnant pond. It's the feeling of your soul shriveling up day by day until you're just a shell of a person, a hollowed out version of the child who once thought they could fly. The child was right, you were meant to fly. But you've spent so much time walking that you've forgotten you have wings. You've traded your flight for the safety of the ground. And the ground is crowded. The ground is where the critics live. The ground is where the realistic people live. Reality is a cage for people who lack imagination. Success requires you to live in a reality that doesn't exist yet. It requires you to see the summit while you're still knee-deep in the mud. It requires an insane level of belief that borders on delusion, because if you aren't delusional about your potential, you'll never have the strength to survive the reality of the struggle. Most people are too grounded. They are so busy being practical that they practice themselves right out of their dreams. They've become experts at why things won't work. They've become PhDs and not enough time, not enough money, not enough experience. I'll tell you what you don't have enough of. You don't have enough hatred for your current situation. You are too comfortable. You have enough food, enough entertainment, enough warmth to keep you from doing the work. You need to be uncomfortable. You need to be disgusted by your own laziness. You need to look at your bank account, your physique, and your relationships and feel a visceral rejection of what you see. Use that disgust. It's the highest grade of fuel. It will get you up at 4 a.m. when inspiration fails. Inspiration is a fair weather friend. It's there when the sun is shining and the coffee is hot. But discipline is the soldier who stays in the trench when the bombs are falling and the mud is freezing. Discipline is the only thing that will carry you up the mountain. And discipline is simply the art of remembering what you want most over what you want right now. Right now, you want to sleep. Right now, you want to scroll. Right now, you want to fit in. But what do you want most? Do you want to be the person who looked back and said, I did it? Or do you want to be the person who looked back and said, I could have? The difference between those two people is a million tiny decisions made in the dark. It's the decision to do one more rep when your heart is pounding. It's the decision to write one more page when your brain is fogged. It's the decision to say no to the party so you can say yes to the legacy. You are currently building your legacy brick by brick, or you're dismantling it grain by grain. There is no neutral ground. You are either climbing or you are sliding if you aren't intentionally moving toward the summit. Gravity is taking you back to the base, and the base is where the ghosts live. It's where the could-haves and the should-haves spend their days talking about the good, old times that weren't even that good. You don't belong there. You know you don't. That's why you're listening to this. That's why you're still here. There's a part of you that is still alive, a small glowing ember of the protagonist who refuses to die. Feed that ember. Blow on it until it becomes a roar. Let it consume your excuses. Let it burn away your fear of what they will think. They are the people who will be at your funeral for 30 minutes and then go to lunch. Why are you living your life for them? Why are you holding back your greatness for people who don't even know their own? The clock is ticking. You can hear it in the silence between your heartbeats. Every tick is a second you will never get back. Every talk is a door closing on a version of your future. You are running out of runway. You think you have time, but you are playing a dangerous game with a dealer who never loses. The mountain doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't care if you're tired. It's just there, cold and indifferent, waiting to see if you have the guts to claim it. Most people will listen to this and feel a temporary spark, a little bit of warmth in their chest, and then they will go right back to their comfortable prison. They will go back to the same job, the same complaints, and the same small lies. But you have to be different. You have to be the one who doesn't just feel the spark, but becomes the fire. You have to be the one who walks out of the cave and into the storm and says, is that all you got? You have to be the one who climbs until the air is thin and the world is small and the only thing above you is the sky. Success isn't about being better than everyone else. It's about being better than the version of you that wanted to stay in bed. It's about winning the internal war. If you can win the war against yourself, the world will eventually surrender to you, but the world won't give you anything until you prove you can't be broken. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep decorating your prison? Or are you going to start climbing? The summit is waiting. The silence is calling. The protagonist is finally waking up. Don't go back to sleep. The world has enough sleepers. It needs someone who is wide awake. It needs someone who is willing to bleed for a vision. It needs you, but it doesn't need the you of yesterday. It needs the you that is currently being born in the heat of this moment. Take the first step. Don't look at the top. Just look at the rock in front of you. Grab it, pull, repeat, until there is no more mountain left to climb. Until you are the mountain, this is your life. This is your moment. This is your war. Win it